Welcome to the best time of the week, bold predictions. That's Mick Walker on the other side of your screen. I'm just Spencer Holbrook. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here with us on a Bold Predictions Friday edition of the program. Let's do it, Mick. We do it every week. We don't need to explain ourselves. What's your first bold prediction for Ohio State and Ohio Bobcats, Buckeyes clashing in the horseshoe?
Before we record this episode, Spencer called dibs on a certain tight end for a bold prediction. I will take the other tight end, and that other tight end being Max Clear. It's been a little quiet for him to start the season. He's had a catch, he's had a first down, he's had a couple of things. But I think we get against the Bobcats on Saturday night in the shoe, 2 touchdowns for Max Clear, the former Purdue transfer, is going to announce himself to the Ohio State fan base in this night game against the Bobcats. So I'll go Max Clear, 2 touchdowns on the offensive side of the ball.
Oh, wow. 2?
2, both of them. Talked to Max Clear a little bit walking off the field on Wednesday night. Hey, Max, when are you going to get it kind of break out? When are you going to – he seemed pretty confident, not about this game, but just that his time was coming. I do think that his time is going to be this game, and then we go off into the bye week or the idle week again, whatever we want to call it, and you get into Washington, you get in Seattle, and when you get on the road, you need your best friend on the road with you. And for Julian saying that's going to be Max Clear. But for right now against the Bobcats, we're going to get him involved, and we're going to get a couple touchdowns for Max Clear.
Yeah, you're wrong. That's just straight up, you're wrong. Because the 2 touchdown performance is going to be from Will Kazmarek, former Bobcats tight end.
4 tight end touchdowns.
Wow. That'd be a quadruple home run hitter there. Will Kazmarek, former Ohio Bobcat, had 2 career touchdowns at Ohio. Was a blocking specialist at Ohio who always had the potential to be a pass catcher, but they didn't really use him in that regard. And I understand why. With the offense that they were running there at the time, I watched a lot of Ohio in the Will Kazmarek era at Ohio. Will's a good player, and he proved that on Saturday, outrunning the Grambling secondary for a 47-yard touchdown. Not the fastest tight end in the world, but somebody who can get open and get loose down the middle of the field. I always think about there are different times where Ohio State specifically tries to involve certain guys, and I think the Buckeyes understand what this game means to Will and how far he's come in his journey as a player. And so I think they will try to get him the ball in the end zone. And so at least 1 touchdown for him, but I actually think he's going to catch 2. And so I will go with 2 Will Kazmarek touchdowns on Saturday night so he can celebrate with his teammates against his former teammates. And then on the field after the game, take photos with his former teammates and his current teammates.
I agree. I think we got 4 tight end touchdowns coming is what I heard today.
Wow. All right. What's your second bold prediction, Nicholas?
I'm going to go I'm going to say Arvell Reese, 3 sacks. I thought, hey, maybe 3 sacks or 3 sacks / tackle for loss, but Ryan Day didn't kneel in the 4th quarter, and I'm not going to kneel on bold predictions here. I'm going Arvell Reese, 3 sacks on Parker Navarro. Obviously, all respect to Mr. Navarro. We hope that he ends this game very healthy, happy, and leads the Bobcats to a back-to-back MAC championships. But he's going to be introduced to Mr. Arvell Reese on Saturday night, and I don't think it's going to go well for him in that encounter.
Wow. Okay. I do think Ohio State is going to force 3 Ohio turnovers. Last week I predicted 4 Grambling turnovers because I said that it was just going to be a different level of physicality. I thought most of them would be on punts. Or not on punts, on run plays and just fumbles because of the hits. And guess what? If Aaron Scott just gets his hand under that football, Ohio State has 4 turnovers. So I was really, really close. And I actually think that I should get credit for that because it's basically 3.75 turnovers because it was called an interception on the field and then overturned. So really, technically at one point, there were 4 turnovers. Huh?
I mean, if we're giving you credit for that, Julian saying started 15 for 15, and I had him going 13 for 13 here. So if we're giving credit, we just need to start taking credits. And then I would also like half a win because I said 2 interceptions for the starting safety tandem. We got 1. So really, I've got 1.5 wins to your 0.75 wins.
I mean, we're doing pretty well here, Mick. I will say that. Normally, in the past, I wasn't great at bold predictions. I also said last week Jeremiah Smith would catch 2 early touchdowns. And Ohio State would rush for at least 200 yards. I don't think that one was very bold, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I
But
think
it
that's
was
just
a prediction, and I was 2 for 3. And if you give me credit for basically half credit for the third prediction, that's pretty good. But anyway,
I think if you
I
just
think
walk into the offensive line room and see the whiteboard, it's just going to be a bare minimum rush for over 200 yards every single week. So I don't really think that's a bold prediction. I think that's just the standard. It's the standard type of thing.
you know what? Shut up, Mick. All right, I think Ohio State's going to force 3 turnovers in this game, though. I think Parker Navarro had 3 picks against West Virginia last week in the second half, trying to press a little bit, make some plays. If he tries to press in this game and make plays, he's going to turn the football over. This defense is way too good. The West Virginia defense isn't even that good, and they forced 3 turnovers on him. I think Ohio State's going to be multiple in its coverages. It's going to disguise a lot of things. It's going to put a lot of the Texas stuff back on film against Ohio, and maybe even put some new stuff on film to make Washington have to study for 2 weeks what they're going to do. I actually think in most cases you say like, oh, you're going to hold some stuff back for an opponent. I think you want to put as much out there as you can to make an opponent worry about everything and then dial it back. And so I do think that Ohio State's going to be a little exotic in this game. Work on keeping Parker Navarro in the pocket, making him throw the football. They're not going to give up any long run plays or explosives in the run game. They're going to make him beat them with his arm. I don't know if he can do that. I think it's going to be a 3 turnover day for him in the Ohio offense. I'm going to go with 3 turnovers for the Ohio State defense. What's your third bold prediction, Mick?
We'll go freshman centric for this third one. I'm gonna call my shot at looking at the PFF grades, looking at the different marks. Quincy Porter didn't have his best game in his Ohio State debut against Grambling. I think he'll flip the script a little bit. I think we're getting 50 plus yards in his first career touchdown from Mr. Porter here on Saturday night.
Wow.
Sorry, we'll spice that up a little. We'll go a 50 plus yard touchdown for his first career touchdown. There we go. We don't couch it. We won't go mild bold predictions here. We will go full spice 50 plus yard touchdown for Quincy Porter as his first career touchdown at Ohio State.
Okay. I really don't have a third bold prediction, but I'm going to come up with one. I will do it. I will come up with a third bold prediction. I think Julian Sayin is going to break his own personal passing record. It was 306 last week. I think it's going to be more this week. I don't see a world in which Ohio can cover these receivers. And yeah, you want to establish the run and be able to run the football, but man, is it easy just to press the Jeremiah button and press the Carnell button and go to the tight ends and get the ball to all of your playmakers. And I even think that we'll see some of the stuff out of the backfield that we've been waiting to see from these running backs a little bit too. As Ryan Day likes to say, that's an extension of the run game. And so even some screen stuff this week, I think, can give Ohio some trouble. So I just think it's going to be a big day for Julian Sayin. So I'm going to go with that. How does that hit your ear, Mick?
I think that sounds good. We've both predicted a lot of. I like the passing yardage thing. We both predicted 2 touchdowns to the one specific tight end. So if we both want to hit, we need 4 passing touchdowns to the tight ends. But it also wouldn't surprise me if Ohio State gets down on the goal line. Last week they got down on the goal line. They said, "Hey, let's throw a couple up to Carnell or Jeremiah." I wouldn't be surprised if they get down to the goal line this week and they say, "Hey, let's get James to carry in the 5 and get him a touchdown. Let's get C.J. Donaldson to carry in the 5 and get him a touchdown and get these running backs some confidence." Because obviously you and I are holding pretty steady on the run game, waiting to see Big Ten play. I think most level-headed Ohio State fans are the same way. But there's internet whispers out there saying they need to play the freshmen above these experienced guys. I don't think I'm there yet. I don't think Carlos Laughlin or Ryan Day are there yet. So, but you got to figure they hear these things a little bit. So let's get these 2 guys that you know are your bell cows, your leading rusher types, and get them in the end zone so they get some confidence and the fans have some confidence in them.
Okay. All right. I can see that. Mick, as you know, and as you all know, we've teamed up with BetMGM this season. We'll be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we have special offers for our listeners each week. When you join BetMGM, you get access to a variety of parlay selection features like same-game parlays, live betting odds, and more. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use the bonus code ON3, ON3, and get up to $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's how it works. Download the BetMGM app, sign up using the bonus code ON3, deposit at least $10, and place your first wager on any game. You will receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your bet loses. Just make sure to use the bonus code ON3 when you sign up. Make this college football season one for the history books. Make it legendary with BetMGM. See BetMGM.com for terms, 21 and over. U.S. promotional offer not available in New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369 in New York. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP in Arizona. 1-800-327-5050 in Massachusetts. 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 in Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days in partnership with the Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Don't forget, if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use the bonus code ON3 and get your $1,500 first bet offer today. Mick, the Ohio State Buckeyes are currently a 31.5-point favorite over the Ohio Bobcats. Ohio State minus 31.5, minus 110. Ohio plus 31.5, minus 110. Over under the total is 51.5. What is your best bet on this game, Nick?
I'm going to go. I think Ohio State will cover that. Ryan Day's been on a good little streak here of getting the fans, the boosters, and the people in important positions that might be wagering a little money on the game. So what is it? You said 31.5? I think
31.5.
I think Ohio State will cover that. Maybe get, what is it? That I think 49-10, 52-10-ish gets me across the line. I think that's possible.
Yeah. Okay. 52-10. Is that your final answer?
I will go 52-10. Spencer really just needs that for the story he's got to publish tomorrow or on Saturday morning. That's why he really wants to know. But yes, 52-10, the final prediction.
So I'm going to take Ohio State to cover this spread. Just barely. Listen, I was in the MGM Grand this past summer for Big Ten Media Days. Was at a different hotel, but the MGM Grand was really nice. You know why it's really nice? Because these folks in Vegas know what they're talking about, Nick. They really know what they're talking about. I think Ohio State's going to cover this just barely. I'm going Ohio State 45, Ohio 13. That is a 32-point victory. So that is the Buckeyes eking out a cover of this 31.5-point spread. That also puts me over the 51.5-point total. I think this game will go over. It won't surprise me if Ohio scores early and then Ohio State is able to just completely shut the Bobcats down. I think there's a couple field goals in through here from both sides. This is not Ohio State Grambling where Ohio State is just going to absolutely pummel this team into oblivion. But at the same time, the Toledo team that won the MAC a few years ago lost 77-21 in the Horseshoe. And a Miami team that won the MAC in 2019 lost 76-5 to this Ohio State program. So, Ryan Day is not immune to just throwing one on a MAC program. Now, I think this Ohio team is pretty respectable. But if you told me that Ohio State really opened up a can here, it won't truly surprise me. I'm not going to predict that, but I think it's on the table. So I'm going to go 45-13 and just pay for, that's a cover. But I think anything less than that or anything more than that obviously is a cover as well. So I've got Ohio State covering the spread. And the over hitting the over 51.5 hitting. You also have the over 51.5 hitting. You have Ohio State covering the spread. That's a little bit of an agreement there for both of us. Thanks to our partners over at BetMGM. Use the code ON3 for that first bet offer today when you sign up at BetMGM. Mick, the hay's in the barn. The coverage is over. Go to lettermenrow.com right now.
Well, Spencer. I heard you talking about it yesterday. I know you're a gambling man. Let's run the folks through your card here. You ran them through last weekend. I know that one had a little anti-Michigan flavor in it. Let's run them through the card here a little bit.
Well, Mick, I don't know if you know this, but Boomer Sooner made me a little bit of scratch last week. Let's pull up the card on BetMGM.
He's even got some stats in here, folks. These are research bets. He goes to our partner at BetMGM and says, how can I make sure I win some money back from them? Not only are they giving us money to sponsor the pod, but how can I win some money off them? And he takes the numbers to go win.
Mick, so Kirby Smart's been the head coach at Georgia for quite a long time now. Only once in his first season did Tennessee score more than 22 points on Kirby Smart. The Tennessee team total is 23.5 over at BetMGM. I took Tennessee under 23.5. I think Georgia's going to be able to have its way with that Josh Heupel offense. I got under 23.5 at minus 115. I don't know what it stands at right now. I've got Washington State plus 6 at North Texas. I still think there's a little bit of power forward to that Washington State roster. And I don't think the trip to Denton is very intimidating. I've got Alabama just absolutely pasting Wisconsin. My head raised up from the pillow this morning. I was drinking some coffee, having some breakfast, and I saw that Billy Edwards is out for Wisconsin. Yeah, that's no bueno for Luke Fickell. So I'm going to go with our friends down in Tuscaloosa to cover that 20.5. I've also got Arkansas +7 at Ole Miss. I just don't think Ole Miss is that good. And if that game gets into a shootout, I think Arkansas can kind of keep pace there. So I'm going to go Arkansas +7. And then here's a little Mac flair for you. Actually, it's kind of anti-Mac flair. I think Akron is truly horrendous. Like really, really bad. They haven't scored a point through 2 weeks. I think they will score in this game, but I think UAB will score a lot more. I've got this is kind of sicko stuff here, Mick. I've got UAB -11.5 at home against Akron. I think the Zips are quite possibly the worst team in FBS, not named Kent State. But Kent has a win over Merrimack this year. Akron has no wins. So I'm going to go with UAB to cover 11.5. I can't believe I'm going to trust Trent Dilfer, but I'm going to trust Trent Dilfer. And then I'm considering a Colorado-Houston bet, but I'm not going to give it out because I just don't. I don't know for sure. I've got to run the Spencer Lytics behind the scenes and see what's going on there. So yeah, that's the card, Mick.
Spencer's all in on the Utes this year. He's a big fan of Devin Dampier in that offense, but I think our colleague Austin Ward would also say maybe sprinkle a little money on the Pokes over there. And
look, Mick, hey, I've got something on that game. I cannot give it out on the show because I think Austin might kill me. So, but that's the show. That's it. This is a bold prediction show. We have a little bit of fun at the end. I hope if you've made it this far, first of all, thank you for putting up with us this long. Second of all, have a great college football Saturday, everybody. We only get a few of these every year, 14, I believe. If you're going to a fall wedding, you should have said no. And if you are watching college football, I hope that you tune in for Ohio State and Ohio on Peacock at 7 p.m. because I think it's going to be a lot of fun for everybody. I think Rufus and Brutus are going to break bread together at this game, and I think everybody's going to have a really good time. Mick Walker is going to be in the stadium for that one, as will Jeremy Birmingham, Austin Ward, and myself, Spencer Holbrook. Go to lettermenrow.com right now. You get all of our coverage over there for just $1 for your first 7 days. And we'll see you guys back here next week for more breakdown of the Buckeyes. We'll see you in the Horseshoe on Saturday. Post-game, we'll have a full video to break everything down. And then, of course, we'll break it down over at lettermenrow.com. For Mick, I'm just Spencer. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Ohio and Ohio State, 7 p.m. on Peacock. We'll see you guys in the Horseshoe for that thing.